Penguin Random House Audio presents The Soul of Care, The Moral Education of a Husband and a Doctor, by Arthur Kleinman. Read for you by Arthur Morey. To Joan Andrea Ryman Kleinman, September 4th, 1939, to March 6th, 2011, and to all those who loved her, who were her caregivers, and who were, like me, created afresh by her love. The space we stood around had been emptied into us to keep. Seamus Heaney. And to all those who have experienced, withstood, and succumbed to suffering and disablement, teaching us what it means to be human and why life and death matter. And to those carers who have given what they have and done what they could to sustain life and hope, and to help create an adequate end, all the time recognizing it never was enough, even when it was all they had to give. Note to the listener. Information contained in this book accurately conveys the spirit of my work as a physician, an anthropologist, and a family caregiver. With the exception of autobiographical details, family members and primary care physicians and hospitals who took care of Joan Kleinman, all names and identifying details in the case histories have been changed. This is meant to ensure confidentiality and to protect the anonymity of the individuals, families, and institutions involved. When I have made such changes, I have drawn on information from other patients, research subjects, and physicians facing similar problems to make the alteration valid in the light of the experiences of people I have treated, studied, and worked with. Prologue. Get out! Get out! My wife, Joan, is screaming and hitting out wildly at the stranger in her bed. She is greatly agitated and frightened. Get away from here! Get out! But the man she perceives as a stranger is me, her husband of more than 40 years. Joan has just woken up from a midday nap. It is summer 2009 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We are in the bedroom of the home we have lived in for 27 years. I try to keep my voice calm and hide the panic rising inside me. I'm your husband, Arthur. Don't be so upset. I'm here with you. You are not! You are not, Arthur! You are an imposter! Get out! Now! She yells, shaking and intensely alert, like a trapped animal. I try in all the ways I can think of to calm her and to prove to her that I am indeed her husband. But she insists, denying who I am, growing more and more adamant, more and more upset. I begin to wonder if this is real, or if I have woken up in a nightmare. Joan feels only terror, caught in the grip of a delusion that frightens her to the core. This has happened once before, in a hotel in Amsterdam, the previous year, but still I feel totally unprepared to deal with her delirium. Joan is almost blind and suffers dementia as a result of an atypical kind of early-onset Alzheimer's disease. This excruciating episode is a classic manifestation of Capgras syndrome, a delusional state that occurs sometimes in people suffering neurodegenerative disorders. The affected person systematically misperceives those close to her, and even the physical space she is occupying as unreal and fake. As in Joan's case, it most often is episodic, short-lived, and readily forgotten. But for those close to the sufferer, it can be world-shattering, as if a bond that has taken decades to forge can be broken in an instant. I'm a trained psychiatrist. I should have the tools to deal with this, but right now, in this moment, I am a shocked and devastated husband. This episode, like the first, lasts a few terrible hours. During that time, I have to retreat to another part of our house, and wait until it burns itself out and she is returned to a calm state. I am also, however, a caregiver, Joan's primary caregiver. Several times I try to engage her in normal conversation, but she rejects me. Finally, I make believe I am someone else, there to help her. "Well, get rid of this impostor and find my real husband," she implores. Afterward, she made light of it. The very next day, she denied that it had happened at all. Up to this point, I had been caring for Joan for 8 years. I had helped bathe, dress, and guide her. I also had to help her with eating and increasingly with interpreting the world for her. I was an ordinary family carer, one of more than 50 million in the United States at any time. But I have also devoted my career as a physician and medical anthropologist to professional care and studying caregiving. I have objective experience in this subject, and at the same time, I am immersed in it as an ordinary participant, learning every day as I go. From each of these experiences, but particularly from the terrible decade I spent as a family carer, I gained a deeper understanding of caregiving. I found that care is a human development process. Often in our society, boys are raised to be careless, girls to be careful. It takes a long time for adolescent and young men to learn to care about others, and then become caring, and at last give care. While the social pressure and cultural expectations of women to be carers is much greater, it doesn't mean care is natural or easier for them. Women develop as carers too. Care is centered in relationships. Caregiving and receiving is a gift-sharing process in which we give and receive attention, affirmation, practical assistance, emotional support, moral solidarity, and abiding meaning that is complicated and incomplete. Care is action, practice, performance. Often it is reaction, a constant reaction to the needs of others and ourselves under different conditions and in different contexts. Care is accompanying someone through their experiences of alarm and injury. It is assisting, protecting, thinking ahead to prevent further difficulty. Care is also about the vital presence, the liveliness and fullness of being, of both the caregiver and the care recipient. Acts of caring call that presence out from within us. Care does not end with death, but involves actively caring for memories. I learned that caregiving entails moments of terror and panic, of self-doubt and hopelessness, but also moments of deep human connection, of honesty and revelation, of purpose and gratification. I also learned how far the domain of caregiving extends beyond the boundaries of medicine. Caregiving is perhaps the most ubiquitous activity of human beings, and it can be the most demanding, at times discouraging, one. It is also the existential activity through which we most fully realize our humanity. In the humblest moments of caring, mopping a sweaty brow, changing a soiled sheet, reassuring an agitated person, kissing the cheek of a loved one at the end of life, we may embody the finest versions of ourselves. It can offer redemption to the caregiver and the person to whom he is giving care. Care can offer wisdom for the art of living. Caregiving is hard, sometimes tedious, unglamorous work, but it resonates with emotional, moral, and even religious significance. Understanding the meanings that arise from the practical work of care may help us to meet the challenges of sustaining it and of enduring its many trials, and also may strengthen us to face the other tests that life brings. Those challenges are increasing. I believe we are living through a dangerous time when high-quality care is seriously threatened among families, in the health professions, in our hospitals and aged care homes, and in our society at large. Amid the hardness, hate, violence, and cynicism that fuel politics today, an anti-caring ethos prevails, and undermined by funding that scarcely touches the need, care can be wrongly portrayed as softness and sentimentality. It is neither.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?